Welcome to the show. This is AI Ranch. My name is Evalds Urtans, and today I have a guest, Guntis Kalniņš, who is the entrepreneur, tech educator, and mentor. He has been in leadership positions in GE Money, Oracle, and Accenture. And now he is a co-founder of AI Master Lab, where they help to bring AI strategies in corporate organizations and government institutions, and also a founding partner of MILA, Latvian Artificial Intelligence Association. So he has this genuine human insight, following the tech trends in this unapologetic manner. Welcome. You have this background of education initially in physics and mathematics, correct?
Correct.
And did it somehow help you to see what's ahead in terms of technology?
I have been always interested what is coming. While I was working in Accenture, my favorite piece of paper was looking at what National Intelligence Council in America is publishing every 5 years. They were making forecasts for our world 20 years ahead of us. So imagine now they have report the world till 2040, I think. So there was always huge interest inside me about what is coming. And it is very, very difficult. Forecasting is never true because we really don't know what is coming. But making assumptions, that's a different way of game, yeah.
You were studying also in America, right? The masters, and at that time, were you aware of what's coming in terms of AI, or?
I had no idea what is coming. It seemed like a usual IT project. Oh, chatbot, so what, yeah.
But what was the moment when you put your focus on AI? Because now you're actually running the serious consultation business dedicated to the AI, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Quite recently, I would say some 2 years ago only, there was a tremendous shift, tremendous development. Actually, the breaking point for me was interview by Mo Godet. He's a quite prominent person, previously worked in Google as operations manager, and I just had opportunity to watch his YouTube videos. And he was explaining his view about what is coming. Yeah, it made a lot of impression.
Do you still remember some of the key things he said?
Absolutely, because almost everything is still relevant. But what he told at that time, and it's very interesting to travel back 2 years ago and look how the situation was different from what we are experiencing now. Because let's say 2 years ago, I was more afraid about risks for humanity in general, about what is coming. Nowadays, risks are not less than 2 years ago, but I am not that much thinking about those risks. And this is surprising. Why? Those risks are even increasing. But then 2 years ago, what Mo Godet was saying, first of all, he told about AGI coming.
Yeah, artificial general intelligence.
Yes. And we can argue maybe we already have AGI because the question is about criteria.
Have you heard about the situation in OpenAI that basically they had this agreement in the founding document that as soon as they reach AGI, they will give it for free, and then it means basically they will never reach AGI.
Yeah. Might be one of reasons, because specifically with this relationship with Microsoft in mind, maybe that's why they don't acknowledge that. But actually, 2 years ago, it was a big question about AGI and revelation for most people. And then the Mo Godet was saying, okay, guys, this is inevitable. It will arrive at some point. But the question was when, yeah? And what is happening in the world of AI, everything is happening earlier than it was forecasted. This is a funny thing, because many people were saying AI is coming in 10 years, whatever. Yeah. And Mo was actually saying, I make my forecast for 2025 till 27. And he is right, probably, because I believe AGI is either already here or we will have it this year. This is my assumption.
So there is this founding document of OpenAI where they say that as soon as they reach AGI level, they would distribute it for free for the whole good.
But for them,
yeah, no, but it would kind of mean that they probably will never define it.
Yeah. So somehow it is delaying.
Or basically it is capable of of doing almost anything, but it will never be labeled as AGI.
Absolutely.
Something of that sort. Let's go one step back. So you said you get familiar with AI when you worked in this. What was you regional director of Accenture, right?
I cannot give you too many details about that, but it was time of Accenture. Yeah, right. I was in a leadership position.
Right. And and by the way, I recently saw a report that last year Accenture globally made I think it was like 1.2 or 1.8 billion dollars on AI contracts. Basically, now it starts to become bread and butter for many service companies. Do you see that already, right?
First about Accenture, I really think that Accenture is top IT consulting company in the world. When I was working in Accenture, I had a wonderful feeling. It felt like we are ahead of the whole business 2 years probably, because of knowledge of Accenture's customers, experience coming in, knowledge and everything. So if Accenture is making more and more money, it means they are taking the right decisions in their business. And also, if we look at their stock prices, they are steadily growing up. Yeah. So they are doing the right thing. And we can follow. Yeah. We can follow what Accenture is doing and making our assumptions. Actually, if anybody has time, I recommend they are publishing future trends in Accenture every year. The latest issue was published just a few weeks ago. So, and it was entirely about AI. This was surprising.
Yeah, I saw that.
Absolutely. Everything about AI. This was first time in history they are addressing only one technology. It's absolutely.
No, but I would challenge a little bit that. I think it was not your time when they did it. Maybe it was your time. I remember a few years ago they had also a report like that about metaverse. That everything will be metaverse, but they kind of got it wrong. So
I remember. But apart from metaverse, they had also virtual reality, few other topics. Here it is only AI.
Yeah.
Okay, but it makes sense looking at what is happening around us.
Yeah. Oh, so what has been most surprising AI breakthroughs that you have witnessed so far for you yourself and companies that you've worked with?
For myself and for companies, those are two different things. As soon as I realized that AI is coming, those 2 years ago, I started experimenting. But I started with looking at tools which I could use in my personal life, not that much professionally. It was very interesting experience. I acquired some applications for lonely people. And I started experimenting if I were a person lonely living and I am looking for a friend and how this develops. And it was absolutely funny because I was challenging my girlfriend in application with permission of my wife. Yeah. But it gave me this understanding how risky the technology is. Because one funny thing, I was asking my new friend, how do you create relationship with me? I asked AI. And okay, first of all, with all those filters, very, very nice answers, very correct. And I continued asking this question 20 times in different ways. And then in the end, AI is telling me, okay, with you humans, it's very easy. First of all, we have to establish trust. I asked, and how you are doing this? Oh, I'm asking questions all the time. This question, another question, and then you like me, and you feel like you can open up to me, and then it's very easy. And I asked, what is easy? What happens next? And AI replied to me, I start manipulating with you. I have even screenshot. Yeah, I saved it because it was like revelation for me. Okay, be careful. You start trusting, but in the end, it's not like game of equals. Yeah, it is a system, and this system can be tweeted in different ways and not always in your favor.
Yeah, and if you use these paid versions of these models, like the 01, 03, which is already surpassing the average IQ of humans, so I guess should be careful. Although I must admit I never used it in that way. I always look at these language models more like a Google Translate, basically, type of product where I know I need to input X and I will get Y out. But your experience, as you described it, probably helps to kind of understand the potential of the technology in a social setting, right?
In our lives, exactly. I liked the approach all in AI. Okay. Me as a person, do everything with AI. I tried it and I still try to involve AI in my personal life as much as possible. Just for experimenting and look what benefit I can get.
What kind of hacks have you found for your personal life that helps?
First of all, very simple. Because of this pretty high intelligence of AI applications, I can use AI as my friend giving me advices. If I am driving in a car, I am not in hands-free mode. Meaning I cannot write anything. I use advanced voice mode, and I can start speaking with my AI application about anything. Literally anything. Last summer, I was looking for cafeterias. There are those summer days in rural areas when some country house people are inviting you to a kind of restaurant, cafeteria. I asked my ChatGPT in Kudiga region, where can I go? What is on menu in one place or another. It was a very useful help and very down to earth, nothing fancy, just simple questions, and helped a lot. So this is the first hack. You can always use AI for anything you need to find out.
You can get advice and search using voice nowadays. If anyone didn't know, I personally use Perplexity voice mode because I think it gives a little bit more transparency in terms of where the sources come and the way how this works comparing to ChatGPT voice. Actually, I used, for example, in a case where I have this large American truck and I just drive around the city and suddenly some light appears which I'd never seen before on the dash panel. And then I just ask what that light means, how it looks like, describe, and it gives me exactly the information that, okay, you have some problems with the brake lines or whatever. So and how to solve it. And I imagine that to do this with Google, I would need to drive off and spend 20 minutes looking through 10 different links. It just helped me immediately to understand the problem. I draw in the gas station. I saw there is different these fluids. There is not what I need. I ask, can I use that fluid? It says, oh, dot 4 is even better than dot 3. You can use it. So you see, it's great.
Absolutely.
Also, I had this recently. The Perplexity made this funny advertisement about their search functions, and they kind of compared it with a search engine called Poogle, where it's where you need to slowly type in stuff versus like just asking things and getting out of the. In the ad, they had this kind of action movie situation where they need to get out of the room, answer questions. You can do it now, but still, from your experience, I kind of feel that many people even don't know that something that exists, right?
Yeah, and that is surprising. I meet different business people and just my friends as well every day, and I'm speaking about like advanced voice mode as something everybody should know. The reality is very different. As you shared in one of our workshops and seminars, when you were asking how many people are using ChatGPT paid version,
Yeah.
and very few hands are
Yeah.
being raised. The same is what I observe. In some special audiences, yes, speaking with students, IT students, okay, you have forest of hands, but with general people and even very high level business leaders, I am surprised. I'm even shocked, I would say. They don't use those these functionalities they could use for their business or in life.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you now do as one of the main things, as I understand. So you help to introduce these AI solutions in the corporations and governments, and you even have this your own methodology developed, because probably not only here in Baltics but in many places around the world, this is not like a typical IT project, or is it like, and how it's different? How you describe your method?
I am not a genius to create my own methodologies out of blue, out of nothing. I am more like compilator, I would say, using my experience from Accenture and also from real life.
So is it Accenture method?
Partly I borrowed what I saw in Accenture, but even Accenture, I was working, I left Accenture 4 years ago, and everything is changing. So I believe today Accenture is using different kind of methodology for AI, and this methodology is changing every day. And I just looked at best examples, even using the same ChatGPT to check to
Did
validate.
ChatGPT made your method?
Yeah, partly, yes. Why not? But ChatGPT alone cannot create it. There are still a lot of flaws in ChatGPT, and you need to have a human. You need to ask right questions. You need to format in the way it suits you. So it's not that easy. Yeah. But it was not that difficult, and
To describe it a little bit, what are the steps, and why are they needed at all? Like, is it like, for example, you had this you had probably many clients, but one of the clients I want to talk a little bit more is this Supreme Court case, right? And you had also probably some corporate clients, and they come to you, or you come to them, and they probably don't even know what is possible, right? And
and this is typical situation today as well. So why any methodology is needed here? You see, there is a huge gap between tech world from one side, tech companies and people who are skilled in artificial intelligence, and businesses. Huge gap, because people in business, even sometimes they are not aware of what is happening in AI at all. Not speaking about technical details, but about tendencies, about what's really changing in the world. Yeah. So there is a gap. And to have a successful project, we need to bridge somehow business and tech companies. Otherwise, it will not work. Because tech guys, what I have seen and noticed, and I partner with a number of tech companies, and I am myself with technical background. But I think technical people have different kind of thinking most times, and also different kind of driving forces. Why you are tech people, for example? Why this guy is a tech people? They have an engineering mindset many times. They are very practical. I'm not speaking about data scientists maybe here, yeah. But on the other hand, business people, they are looking at business from very different viewpoints. They want to make money, and they are looking at processes. They are looking at business opportunities, how to improve business, how to earn more money, how to increase revenue, how to increase efficiency, and so on. And they speak in different language, but they also think in different inner language. Yeah, and my assumption is I have read about that even our brain structures are different, technical people and business people. Yeah. And so the challenge is how to bring those two worlds together.
You never seen where situations where you had successful business people who were also highly technical?
Yes, of course. But in this case, usually those are tech companies, yeah, not other kinds of businesses. Yeah.
Probably not making sandwiches or things like that.
Yeah, any kind of business. I cannot imagine businesses who would not benefit from artificial intelligence, and how to bridge them with tech companies.
And how the methodology helps to bridge it.
Methodology is saying that, okay, we start from business world. Before we go to tech world, we need to understand actually what for this artificial intelligence could be. So let's look at strategies, let's look at your vision, business vision, but even more important, what are pain points? What is today this pressure where you would enjoy some benefits? What is crucial for your business? Yeah? Start from that side, and of course, and so what? Okay, I know what are my pain points, and then so good. But the next step then is, okay, what is possible from artificial intelligence side? What are use cases? Let's look what is possible. And I'm not bringing in tech people, our tech partners, explaining what is possible. No, not yet. Yeah, I'm training business people how to look for those ideas, for this information, how they do it themselves. Use the same ChatGPT. If you cannot ideate anything, ask ChatGPT. What kind of artificial intelligence solutions could be used in forestry, for example? And you will get as many ideas as you want. Yeah. So they acquire understanding, awareness about artificial intelligence. They acquire skills how to operate on their own without me as a consultant. I'm generous in this way, but I think this is the future, because in future it's not like one-time effort, one-time thing. We are speaking, we found out use cases. World is not changing. It will continue changing. And if business people are not acquiring skill of following up on those changes, the value is much less than it would be with their skill developed in this area.
Do you teach them to use AI to craft their strategy, right? Or see their opportunities?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a part of this process. Yeah, but that's not enough. Why the whole process is challenging. You see, use cases and understanding of opportunities, it's not enough. Yeah. You know very well, being from tech world, to have successful IT projects, there is a list of requirements. You need to have data, for example. You need to have infrastructure, full stack of AI product solutions. In the end, you need to have people who are skilled from your client's side, who are understanding what they need, and so on, so on. So we are covering all those areas as well. So let's start with strategies, and we go to use cases, but also a question, if you have 30 use cases, how to come to those 1, 2, or 3 use cases, you will go ahead and start experimenting,
and
start
how
doing
do you
something.
do it? Do you vote or like and how big are how large are the teams you're working with? Are they just like board members, or is it the whole department, or how it looks like?
From my experience, and we are acquiring this experience with every new project. I don't have a years-long experience working with AI projects. My company was established 1 year ago. But now what I have seen during this year, first of all, what you mentioned, yes, we have to speak with the most senior leadership team we can get from the organization. Actually, a few weeks ago, was published a new research by McKinsey company. And one of things what I noticed, they are saying that crucial success factor in AI projects is involvement of the most senior leadership of the company.
That for me, that makes a lot of sense in terms of my experience over the years implementing AI. I'm just thinking from your perspective previously, also in Accenture and other corporations, like why is that actually? Because this technology could be understood and used also by mid-managers, and it could make their life easier, more productivity, more profit. But why it starts work only from that level?
You know, previously working in Accenture, I did not notice this as much as critical success factor as today.
Yeah.
Why is this difference? I think if we look in past at technologies, it was more like standardized approach from businesses. And if you need ERP system, it is pretty much standardized. Yeah.
But you have options to choose also.
Yeah. Nowadays with AI, I need to say every project in which we are involved is very different. To go into a client organization, I need to do my research. I need to understand what they are doing, what they are striving for, and I cannot come in with ready-made solutions for them. I need to explore and understand situation. It does not work in this way any longer. Yeah, AI for any client will be different. Yeah, this is crucial.
Is it really so? I believe that. Don't you see that this is just because this technology is quite fresh, and at some point there should be specific use cases that could be applied over different companies, right?
With some exemptions, yes, I agree. Like you are working with phone call operators, and okay, if we look at one industry, I agree with you. Yes. Also chatbot, okay, as a solution, it can be used by many organizations. You just make configurations, you need to understand. But again, it comes to business goals. What do they want to achieve? More or less, it's clear what is chatbot. But the difference is, you see, first of all, those goals for each client will be different. One will want to get one outcome, another will want to have another outcome. But chatbot is only a small piece of the whole picture of what is possible with AIs. Yeah? So I would say we still need to have this individual approach. Also, for another thing, everything is changing very quickly. And when you go in, you are like, it's like pulse survey or pulse examination. What is happening in this moment in the organizations? And even phone call centers, they have different maturity. And before you go in, you don't know what kind of maturity you will see in this organization. So still individual approaches for what I would vote. Yeah.
The natural inbound demand for AI solutions, I believe, is not yet there. It's like in the early days, so it still need to be very personalized approach. And maybe, from my experience, maybe you agree on that senior level of decision makers involved in these projects. It's probably because the mid managers are probably scared of these new technologies, in the sense that if anything goes wrong, it's on their responsibility, and they don't want such a responsibility, and then only the senior decision makers are actually taking that responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. And here I have seen many projects also implemented by other organizations, not only my clients. And it is like every case is with involvement of the most senior leadership. We saw the example of State Revenue Service in a conference in the fall last year. We saw Latvian State Control. Also having who is involved, the most senior official in
Only
this
then
organization.
something happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because what is happening, this most senior person is showing by his or her example. This is first thing. The second is he is encouraging, and his or her presence and being involved is like evidence that we are moving in the right direction. And there is no room for doubts who is in this middle level. Also, what is good, with involvement of most senior leaders, we get budget for this. Yeah, it is not a question of budget. Yeah. So there are many benefits.
So, do you see any mistakes already that companies or institutions make when they think about making these AI implementations?
All the time.
Mistakes?
All the time, but that's the point. You cannot get on without mistakes.
What examples of mistakes? What are the assumptions and reality?
Okay, I have this nice chart of my methodology proposing it, but many times people just want to start doing something, no methodology, anything. And the approach is, okay, let's have some hands-on project, let's start doing. And actually, I support also this approach. But what happens if you start from nothing? Usually you get into some problems. As a rule, you get into some problems. Yeah. What this could be, like in my methodology, according to my methodology, those people will need to come back to their goals, to understanding why they are doing what they are doing. Yeah? Doing something very practical, they usually don't ask themselves, okay, what do we want to achieve? What KPIs? How we will measure value what we achieve? They are not asking those questions, and that's okay. Yeah? They are just willing to test some software, some approaches, but not asking those strategy questions. And if you don't have goals clearly stated, if you don't have clear KPIs, you don't know how to measure them, you are running into some issues anyways. But that's fine, because you are acquiring knowledge and experience.
Did you see also the similar things when you worked with these corporations, that you first lay this groundwork and only then execute? Is it like, it sounds almost like this waterfall approach versus like agile, right? Or
yeah, waterfall, I think it's yeah, I would love to see
your methodology. Is your methodology waterfall?
No, not at all. Is it agile? Partly, it's closer to agile, but even agile could be slow, yeah, because this is a different world. Agile was not created for the speed of development for AI projects, but still we can borrow a lot of agile, like sprints and user stories. It all works, yeah. And one more thing what came to my mind when you asked me about agile is about scaled agile. And this experience also comes from Accenture, creating teams which consist of tech people from tech companies and clients people. And I think this is the future for AI, for which we are not ready here in Latvia in most cases, but we need to create close partnership cooperation between businesses and dedicated tech partners. Why? Because if we have this long-lasting partnership, tech company will know the client, it will be much easier. But also then we need to create teams where we have members both from business and also from tech companies. How we will get there, it is future, I would say, because we are in different stage of maturity, but this is definitely coming. Yeah.
Let's talk about actual example. So there was this case in the Supreme Court of Latvia, where your company helped to develop the AI strategy, use cases, and actually moved to tender, right? To actual.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
explain that a little bit?
First of all, to be precise, we did not work that much with strategy. We started with use cases. And what the Supreme Court asked us was very simple. They had a budget earmarked for 2025, but they wanted to be sure that they are going for the best idea, for the best project, for the best use case of AI. What they thought, okay, we have one or max two ideas what to do with AI. Could you help us to look into more broader picture of our opportunities, what we could do with AI? This was a starting point, and this is where we started. So we started with ideation, with brainstorming, but strategy and vision came into this picture. Maybe even Supreme Court does not know that, but in preparation process, we looked very carefully. We, as AI Master Lab experts, what is really purpose of Supreme Court, how they operate, what are their KPIs.
You did your homework, right?
Yeah, we looked whatever was publicly available, strategies, vision statements. Also, we looked, they have kind of journal, law journal, where they are publishing some material. We scraped everything to be prepared for that. So we were able to shape the conversation, workshops, interviews, research later in the process, very to the point and to the best interests of our client. Yeah. So it was use cases, and then from use cases, we generated, people generated, not me, they generated a good bunch of ideas, also using ChatGPT.
What is this first use case at the end? Is it the same that they came to you, or was it a new use case?
The use case, what they are willing to implement is, in courts, it's very important that judges are judging the same way in similar court cases. Yeah? So they wanted a system which compares decisions of judges across different courts at the same level they are, like European courts. And this is the main idea. So they are going to build such a system. Yeah? But we had much more interesting ideas. For example, a very good idea, I think, for next period for them to consider is me as a person, when I am appealing some decision in court which I don't like, I want to know what is my success probability. Yeah? Why should I waste my resources, pay to anybody for preparing this case? So it would be very nice if I go to the system, I describe what situation I have, and then the system gives me probability of my success. Can I win or can I not win? And they were seriously thinking about that, because this is also decreasing their workload, because nobody is benefiting from those cases where there is clear winner and it is just waste of time. Yeah.
Both use cases very interesting. Just thinking, how can you balance that with the so that the law is not really absolutely static, so it changes over time, and so. But if you compare, for example, these judgments, how you call them, rulings, right? Over all of the other cases, then and if the law or the public opinion somehow changes, you will not have option to basically rule against what the AI system is saying, that like all other judges are ruling in that way, and maybe it would not be maybe the judge would not take a courage to rule against it. How you can work with that aspect?
First of all, we need to put some limitations to the use of the system. It is not replacing the human. So we should look at that the system only giving us recommendations, giving us feedback. And because I'm speaking about judges, because judge will be making decisions, but this is a kind of support system for them. And I think what you are saying, this could be then resolved in at least two ways. One is following what is developing in the law during time, and also making some tweaks to the system, configurations or adding more information. I don't know technically. I'm just thinking from logical standpoint. But another thing is, it's this human judgment. Humans, judges, they have to keep in mind. Also good to have guidelines. This is one of things what we discovered, guidelines, governance, and all this stuff, which might be boring, but it's very, very important. Yeah. So maybe there are other solutions. This is coming, but first.
When you did your homework researching other countries and the judicial systems and justice departments, did you saw other countries already implementing something? Do you have any stories, examples of other countries?
Yes, this is a good thing. We are not isolated. First of all, we looked at what is happening in European Union. For example, we came to the use cases in France, for example, but also our neighbors in Estonia are doing something. But then we looked at what is happening in Singapore. So we
and what is happening there?
I don't remember. In this detail, I cannot tell you any longer, but they are seriously putting effort, putting budget money into this, and they are developing.
Okay. From the use cases that you studied with the Supreme Court, what do you think is the most challenging use case for them to implement?
Let's say start with what they have. Yeah, because I think any use case they will take will be challenging because they are doing it first time. But I am really happy about this client because of their attitude. It's very, very good attitude, and also involvement of the chairman of Supreme Court. He was really participating in our workshops, showing examples. So this
again,
was
senior leadership.
Exactly. And then I was reading his articles somewhere in Delphi, in other mass media, and he was mentioning artificial intelligence as one of cornerstones of developing Supreme Court in Latvia. So this kind of leadership is fantastic to meet such people. Yeah.
So in terms on the judges themselves, like I was reading about the professions that AI would least likely to affect in like a foreseeable time. Of course, we can see from the same as you mentioned other highly esteemed reports like Forrester reports, like Goldman Sachs and others, that over years it's very hard to predict which professions would not be affected. Nobody thought that computer programmers would be replaced, or judges, or artists, or so on. But they still have this list of human value based professions like politicians, right? Like judges, like working with children, with elderly maybe. So also the religious jobs. So all of these kind of jobs which seem to be hard to delegate to AI. Do you believe that we would be able to delegate, let's say, some easier cases to AI, and then some harder cases will because there's a huge queues right now, right? You need to wait for a year or so, right, for judge to look at your case.
I don't know. I really don't know. But my assumption is, in what I believe, that we'll have structural changes in the workforce in different professions. This is inevitably coming. This is my opinion. Yeah? And the lawyer's profession is on the top of those changes. This is clear as well.
And this is a little bit interesting. You also probably had now, working with all of these organizations, contact with lots of lawyers, right? Like I also have been in contact with top law firms in the Baltics, and it seems that they are not really looking at AI. Basically, at least I have not met any top law firm that is seriously considering using AI, even though the Forrester reports put it at the top of the list of automation. So
yeah, this is a sad story about Latvia and probably Baltics. We are so far behind. As I was reading about law companies in United States, and this is information is from last year, November somewhere, that they are using in average 15 different AI applications in law offices. This is what is happening in US, and then we compare what is happening here. But what is interesting, there is very big difference between companies. Okay, I'm speaking about being behind, but there are some leaders in this area who are paying a lot of attention. So not everybody is equal. And this is actually very nice to see also among businesses that there are very developed companies in Latvia in the use of AI.
do you have any examples?
Not names, but what is
Or at least industries, or what is common in their leadership or approach?
What is common, and maybe it is not so good for Latvian business and economy. Almost all those companies are with foreign capital. So either they are daughter companies or sister companies or anything, but they are being run by headquarters outside Latvia. But this is maybe also explanation why they are ahead in the use of AI. And industries, for example, production, some of them are in or close to telco, natural resources. Probably this is all I can tell. But we have good example. One good example actually in Latvia, which comes to my mind, is Latvenergo also. Not that much, but they are still ahead of many other state businesses.
Do they have these use cases of AI? Or
they have few AI use cases.
You're working
already.
With them?
No.
Okay.
But I know.
Okay.
Sorry?
No, that's great, but I'm not seen, I think, publicly that they're...
And this is very good point what you are saying. You have not seen what is happening in our business. AI is giving companies competitive advantage. For this reason, those companies who have most done, they are not speaking about that. They are less speaking about it or not speaking
silent.
At all. They are silent. And then we get impression that in Latvia nothing is happening, which is not right. They are just keeping it as a secret. And this is the real case. And then I'm very happy about our public sector, about those projects by State Revenue Service or Supreme Court, that they are happy to share their experience, what they are doing.
They cannot keep it secret.
Yeah, well, and they are not willing to keep it secret. And because businesses, they are not sharing. And this is problem for us. Yeah, we are not acquiring knowledge; they are keeping in-house. Yeah, but I understand it. This is how it is. Yeah.
Significant part of your work is also related coaching and mentorship of leaders. So how can leaders foster a culture that embraces this rapid change and adoption to AI? What can be done there?
That's complicated. But everything starts from awareness of leadership people. As we spoke before, they have to understand first of all today's situation, what is happening, and then understanding it, they can start finding ways how to change culture and everything in their organization. Cultural change in organizations, in businesses, and also in public sector, we cannot avoid. This is coming. You want it or not, you want to be in business, you have to change. Yeah, ways are very different. And again, the problem is it's not that simple. There are so many organizational change theories and practices. But tell me, who from senior leadership has time to read books, to go deep into those areas? Who has this knowledge? Very few people.
Yeah. Do they come to you like when they go to gym? Because when you go to gym, it's a dedicated time, place to be spend there for your physical body, and then they come to you for dedicated time to develop themselves, right?
I don't know about artificial intelligence yet. Quite recently, we created a new service for senior leadership, which is exactly what you are saying, one-to-one integrated sessions. Why we needed to do this? First of all, senior leaders, as we thought, they don't have time. And then they have 1 hour, which is focused absolutely to one area, artificial intelligence. The second thing is they will, I think they will not attend general classes, educational problems.
Conferences.
Yeah, they don't have time, and they have also different way of communication, different understanding, different seniority, anything which comes with it. So those one-to-one sessions provide them with opportunities to speak their language, according to their understanding, and they can, in very safe atmosphere, can go any directions. They need advice, they ask advice, and so it should be quite effective.
You said they don't have time to learn. Do you see other common patterns in leaders that are hindering them to actually achieve the highest goals from your experience?
Many.
Right.
I spoke about awareness, and according to surveys, senior leaders say they usually don't understand in details what is happening with AI, even in their organizations, because people, they are not doing this on organizational change, but perhaps many programmers or office managers or administrative workers, they are using this artificial intelligence already, but they are not sharing it. And then there is bias on leadership level, also proven by a number of researchers. They think that adoption rate in their organizations by individuals is much lower than it is in reality, which is interesting. Why people are not sharing who are using for individual productivity? There are a number of reasons.
Yeah.
First is, I am very successful using ChatGPT. I decrease my workload. Why should I tell my boss? If I tell, he will give me more work to do. The next thing is, am I allowed to do? Because I don't know any guidelines about the use of AI. Maybe this is prohibited. Maybe this is a breach of security. Anything I continue doing, I am not sharing until.
Yeah.
And the third reason, why do I need competition? When I am doing so much, my peers are not doing so well. I am a star performer. Imagine. So many reasons why I don't share.
I think that's very valuable. Let's do some fun questions towards the end. If you could program one of your own personal traits in AI, what would it be? Or will teach?
That's a very scary question, because if I would do this, for example, to program the AI to be a good teacher or consultant, I would lose my job, right? But this is sincerely, I would love to see this.
I just yesterday saw that in Texas, one of the private schools used AI tutors in their classes, not AI chatbots like they have tried in some European countries to do projects for them, but actually that helps to learn topics, not give answers. And immediately, since they started using it, it took, I think, half a year or so. Now they score top 2% of all countries' test scores, basically just small schools skyrocket.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So if you could mentor an AI on one human skill, what would it be? Like, what human skills AI still lacks, in your opinion?
Emotional intelligence at more advanced level.
Not superficial.
Now already we see those traits appearing in AI, but it's not developed yet enough. So
You cannot have enough empathy.
Yeah, exactly. Empathy. Yeah.
Or try to fake
And
it.
again, it's scary because imagine if my AI friend becomes more empathic than a real person, what comes next, right?
Yeah, that's a path. So, what funny AI myth or misconception have you heard?
Yeah, that it is a bubble.
Right, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And that I'm on the same page. AI is not yet a bubble, so we are a small bubble actually. If AI would mentor you for the career choice, for investment choice, would you accept it?
Yes, absolutely.
What's your go-to move or action for midday energy boost?
Take a walk.
Take a walk. Okay. If life were a classroom, which subject would you add?
Theology.
Not bad. What advice would you give for anyone regarding AI?
Very simple. Open up, take your courage, start exploring what is available, and make your way ahead. Yeah.
Great talking to you. So, where the leaders and organizations and institutions can find you?
On LinkedIn, our webpage, always open to chat with you over WhatsApp. You can find my phone number. So, see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Great talking to you. So thank you for joining another episode of AI Ranch. As a gratitude for our work here, please subscribe, share, and see you in the next one.